My guests are Jeffrey Stites and Sue McCallum. They're with the Brunswick Little Theater. Welcome to our show.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Jeffrey, you're president. Sue, you're president-elect, so we have the key movers and shakers here for our Brunswick Little Theater.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the theater. It's been around for 20 or 30 years, am I correct?
Yes, it has. And it began in Southport, and it really began over a glass of wine with several people who were talking about the fact that it would be nice if there were a theater in Southport. And from there, and Jeffrey, you can help me if I need some refreshing, but the Centennial Center was used for quite a while. It was a building that had formerly been a gym, and that didn't have air conditioning, it didn't have heat in the winter, it was cinder block, but they had a really successful run with Brunswick Little Theater.
And the theater's been in continuous existence since then, is
yes,
that correct?
It has. Yes, it really has.
Left the Centennial Center in 2009. I believe, and since then we've performed at various places throughout the county until just a few months ago we finally found our own home again.
Jeff, you're the president this year, and it's been a banner year for Brunswick Little Theater. And
it's been a busy year.
And I know how hard you've been working on behalf of Brunswick Little Theater. Tell us a little bit about the last 5 or 6 months.
We've been looking for a home since we left the Centennial Center, but we didn't have a serious prospect for one until recently. We found a place on River Road, 133, heading out of Southport, that has been used as a church and a school by the Southport Christian School and the Christian Mission Alliance Church.
Right.
And several of our members drove by it and saw that it was vacant, and we looked into it. And Sue can tell you the story. It's a series of events. We fell into the place, and in August, the 1st of August, actually during a show in Odell Williamson Auditorium, I signed the lease on the set of Into the Woods.
All right, Sue, tell us a little bit about how all this occurred.
Well, there are 2 buildings, each with 2 really big rehearsal spaces, separate rooms, so 4 separate rehearsal rooms, and a lovely piece of property. And it just seemed like it was meant to be. Things fell into place for us.
So in the course of a few months, you've gone from homeless, and I say that in the kindliest fashion, to your new theater building.
Well, it does enable us to do multiple performances, one right after another, to be able to overlap rehearsal periods. And I would say for a number of years that Brunswick Little Theater existed from production to production, maybe 4 times a year. But there wasn't the sense of community on a weekly basis, seeing people there rehearsing, and it just has created a great sense of community and excitement for all of us.
And we call it a theater, but it's really a performance arts facility, am I right?
It is. It's a performing arts complex, essentially.
Right.
It is a large building. It has a kitchen. It has a very nice lobby. It has dressing rooms. And like Sue says, it's got 4 large rooms in the back, and it's got a lot of empty property behind those rooms that could be used in the future.
And parking as well.
And it's got plenty of parking. It's an ideal facility. It seats 100 people in the audience in the main theater, which is perfectly suitable for us. Yet it's small enough that we don't need to mic actors, so you have more of a live feel in the place. It's ideal. It's ideal for actors. It's ideal for directors. It's ideal for an audience. I think people are really going to like it.
Well said. And Jeff, you've been instrumental in recent weeks in working your way through the regulatory issues that require you to comply with county and state regulations as to a performing arts center.
We didn't know what we were getting into, honestly.
Fair to say.
But it has been a learning experience, and it's been an adventure, and the people at the county have been terrific. They've helped us every step of the way, and we've finally, as of this week, gotten our permission to open as a theater, and it will open tonight, actually, the day we're recording this interview.
Applause, applause, applause.
And all of us have been working about round the clock, I would say, the last week or so. Whether we're not on the property, we're all just, very busy bees running around and very excited.
Let's take you back a little bit and talk about the purpose of Brunswick Little Theater. I can recall one or both of you using the term 3 different E's. Tell us about that, the purpose of the theater.
The purpose of the theater is to entertain, to enrich, and to educate. And to that end, we have workshops, we have individual levels and divisions for youth and for adults. And Jeffrey might want to say some things about that.
We began 2 years ago a workshop for children 4 to 12 called Let's Play. It's been very successful. It started out as a weekend workshop, expanded to a couple weeks of summer camp during the summers, and it's served probably well over 100 children all told. And it moves them from no experience with theater to being comfortable on stage.
Sure.
And it's a wonderful thing, and we're expanding that next spring to have the next level up. We have a group of performers, youth performers called Stage Struck Players.
Right.
That is a little older than the Let's Play group.
Give us
they
the age
start
group.
at 12 and move up to about 18, high
Thank
school
you.
age. And we're going to start having theater workshops for them as well
Right.
in the spring. So that will be an addition. And Sue, we're going to have a group of seniors as well. So
We're calling it Silver Stage Troupe. So that will be an extension. There will be people from probably 40 on up to 70 in that group, maybe 75 in some cases. And so it really does bear out our mission of entertaining, but also enriching the lives of people of all ages who participate. And then, of course, education with our training workshops. And each production experience really works with actors on being on stage, on motivation, on what their characters are. And that really in itself builds a sense of community. You have a team behind stage, backstage working
Sure.
to support. You have people making costumes and learning to make costumes. You have the director, the choreographer, the musical director, and you get a real sense of ensemble spirit through that experience.
And you say that so well, and what I want our viewers to know is that there's something for everyone. So we go to the theater, we buy our ticket and we enjoy the play, but there's so much more opportunity for all of us of all ages. You've just spoken about the youth, the teenage group, and now the senior citizens, and there will be activities for each and every one of those groups. And that speaks so well for your theater.
that's exactly true, Jim. I was nothing more than a sometimes audience member 2.5 years ago. And I can speak to the education involved in theater. I've learned lighting, I've learned sound, I've, heaven forbid, not gotten on stage, but I've stage managed, I've worked on sets, I've worked on props. There is something for everybody. If you don't need to be able to act, sing, or dance, you don't need to be comfortable in front of an audience.
Right.
But there's a place for everybody in Brunswick Little Theater. There's a role for everybody.
Very well said. I like that.
I think one aspect, too, that we are looking into, and I particularly am interested in the years to come, is working with groups with special needs through theater.
Tell us more about that.
Well, for a number of years, I worked with assisted living residents in a continuing care community and Alzheimer's patients. And I learned so much about the power of music and theater, especially with Alzheimer's people, where you can reach out and touch that person's heart through a remembered song, through dancing with them, or even if they played the piano years earlier. I will never forget that a woman with Alzheimer's sat down and played Clair de Lune on the piano.
Wow.
Just from memory, from having been a young adult, and had not played for years. And there was not a dry eye in that nursing center when she did that. And so I have a real interest in Brunswick Little Theater going out to assisted living communities,
Sure.
which they've done in the past and would like to continue to do that, so that we really reach and honor really elderly people and people with special needs, children possibly with special needs too, that through group therapy and through theater.
That's an awesome side to your theater, and I really want our viewers to know how many different aspects there are to your theater, including that one.
The arts really do affect people's lives. It's something I've found in my involvement with Brunswick Little Theater, especially seeing these children in the Let's Play workshop, for example. I'll take pictures for our website or Facebook, and I like to go to an early class and see these children who don't even want to speak in front of other children their age.
Right.
And go back after 8, 12 weeks of these Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon sessions, and these kids will be on a stage under the lights in front of 75 or 100 of their parents and parents' friends singing their little hearts out.
It's magical, isn't
It's
it?
something I wish I would have had when I was a kid, and I
Right.
never did.
Yeah.
Well, I just too, their memories are so wonderful, and some of the skits in this particular performance that I think Jeffrey's talking about late this summer and the fall, they memorized an enormous amount of material, and they were very, very cute skits, and they had little costumes they'd worked on, and even up on the screen they had done drawings for a backdrop, and just for a child, like Jeffrey says, to have the creative experience at
And
that early age.
It's not just the children. We see the same thing with adults.
Good
The
point.
That's a very
actors
good
in our
point.
shows are not professional actors. Nobody in our organization is paid. We're entirely volunteer. The instructors of the workshops, the directors, the musicians that play in the pit, the people that work backstage, everybody volunteers their time. And we come from all walks of life. We're lawyers, we're teachers, we're stay-at-home moms, we're podiatrists, we're doctors, we're salesmen, we're nurses, secretaries, delivery people. We're the people in your neighborhood, and these people leave their everyday life and go to a show and become somebody else. And it's really fun to see somebody do that. And there are people that you may go to for anything.
It's the
And
transformational nature of theater, is it not?
Absolutely.
You're seeing
It
your friends and
absolutely
neighbors
is.
on stage becoming somebody else and bringing magic to
Yeah.
the theater. It's really something else.
Jeffrey, your theater is a busy theater. Between now and the end of the year, you have several productions going on. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Tell us about those.
By necessity and because we want to. We have a lot going on between now and the end of the year. The beginning of November, the 6th through 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, we have Big Dog Productions from Wilmington coming to our theater. We're hosting them, producing The Hermit of Fort Fisher.
And that was an enormously successful program.
They sold out
In
their
Wilmington.
theater in Wilmington, and fortunately we seat twice as many people as they do, so they can get this in front of a lot more eyes. They're excited. It was a terrific production. It's about a local legend, the
I've
Hermit
seen
of
it.
Fort
It's a
Fisher,
great show.
and is supposed to be a terrific show. So we encourage everybody to go see that. The end of November, as part of the Dickens Festival, we're going to be hosting Fezziwig's Ball and Murder Mystery.
Right.
We will teach people a little dance, do some caroling, and have to solve the murder of Jacob Marley.
Great.
That will be the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. And in the mid-December, we've got the best Christmas pageant ever coming to the theater. It's a weekend of holiday fun for the whole family will enjoy. I think people are familiar with the story. It's about a family of almost miscreants who find the joy of Christmas putting on a pageant in a church. And we're in a church, so the set
Perfect
works out
setting.
great.
And you're working on your 2015 productions already.
We're already putting together a really busy season in 2015. This facility will allow us to put on more productions than we have in the past.
Great.
We will still be doing a summer show in Odell Williamson Auditorium. 2015, it will be Shrek the Musical.
Good.
We're really excited about that. We'll be doing a free show in Franklin Square Park like we have in the past, but we're going to be doing a lot more in our new theater.
Fantastic, fantastic. Sue, I want you to help us wrap this up with a few final comments. You're always looking for members, volunteers, supporters.
Always looking for members and volunteers, yes. And it's such a special time for us because we have a lease purchase and an option to buy. And so, of course, we're looking for volunteers, and we're beginning a fundraising campaign. We're hoping to raise $100,000 this year to go forward with a purchase of the building. So it's an exciting time and a challenging time for us. We feel like we have so much to offer now that we have our own home, and we just hope people will join in as members and audience members and help support us in our endeavor.
Well, it's a great story you've had for us this morning. You and others within your community theater have taken theater to another level here in Brunswick County. And we thank you for being with us, Jeffrey Stites and Sue McCowan.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for the
Jim.
opportunity.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.